Welcome to another episode of Seattle House Mafia's Industry Interviews. I am Phil, your host, and our guest today first laid her hands on turntables in 1999 and has been spinning for over 2 decades. In 2024, she landed a coveted online radio show, NAHM, on the legendary happyhardcore.com, showcasing her skills to a global audience. She was the scratching sensation behind the hit song, What is a DJ? By Searle. Totally surprised me, that one. She developed her own unique streaming concept during the pandemic lockdown, Hardcore Hodgepodge, which blends her art and her DJ passions. And she was the first to bring an all hard dance show to the airwaves of C89 radio. We are excited to have Annika Anderson, also known as DJ Jimni Cricket, in studio today. How are you?
I am so good, thank you.
And I did what I said I wasn't going to do. I said Annika, and it's Annika.
Yeah, it is.
God
Should I take off
damn it.
this bracelet? Is it mad annoying?
It's up to you. It depends if you're going to hands talk or not. But put it in your. What is the name of your purse again?
Palm. Which you would think like pom, right? Because she's
sure.
No, pomegranate. She doesn't even like pomegranates, which is the unfortunate thing.
That is
She's just stuck with it. But you know, she has 6 sisters, so mom was out of names. Start naming fruit.
That was it. Was it so the palm because you ran out of other names from the sisters?
No, I'm not the mother. I'm not a dog.
Okay,
that's rude.
Sorry. I apologize. I truly apologize.
We're just mates.
I got you. Okay. So a couple things I want to touch on here first. So I told you were my only guest that showed up with a scratch record in their tote, which is pretty cool.
And probably the only one that put that scratch record in TLC's Don't Want No Scrubs.
Yeah, it is in a TLC's, and we're going to have to show that at some point. But the scratching thing, that surprised me because I started stalking a few of your videos, watching you scratch. So that's just part of how the DJ thing started for you?
I definitely did not start out scratching, but I became interested in scratching pretty early on, maybe like 5 years in or so.
And then how did you get connected with Searle to scratch on that particular?
Searle contacted me. I had opened for him about 6 times because when he went on tour in America a lot, I was the other candy raver, cute, happy hardcore DJ. So we had very similar aesthetics, I believe. Very cheesy, uplifting, cute little DJs.
Got it. No, that's cool. And then the other thing that threw me off was, and this had nothing to do with you initially, I was looking at just rave documentaries, right? And then what was it? It's called the Renegade Underground. Popped up
Victims of Fun, right?
Yeah. So there's Renegade Underground and then Victims of Fun, which was like more spray painting. But Renegade Underground, like there's a picture of Romero on it, right?
Yeah.
But like a young Romero. But then 2 minutes in, you're on it with red hair, talking about the
as a whatever early 20s.
It was 2006.
Late 20s.
Yeah. 2006. That's so wild. And so I like that, just kind of like tripped me out. And actually my wife was asking, she's like, how old is she? I said, I have no fucking idea.
You're never gonna know.
We're never gonna know. Exactly.
I am a vampire.
That's
I am
right.
Here forever. You're stuck with me, terrorizing the world for centuries to come.
So how long have you been actually DJing out?
I got my turntables in 1998. I think my first gig, which I did horribly at, was in 1999. My 19th birthday, I think, was my second bigger, not bigger, but second real booking. I also did terrible at that.
So define terrible for me. What is?
I'm sure, looking back, that every mix was train wrecked, but I was jumping on it. There's a mattress behind the turntables, so I got to jump on a mattress while I played. It was at a rock climbing studio, which was very fun. I don't think it was even Technique turntables, so I'm not sure I was set up on the best.
I blame the turntables then. For sure.
I think I also just didn't know what I was doing for the first few years. I think that's pretty common, especially with vinyl DJs.
Oh,
it was a lot harder to have that point of entry of sounding okay good.
I definitely played gigs before I should have played gigs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
But usually those gigs I played were literally at 6 a.m. And I am not sure about the sobriety level of anyone there. So we could just say that I was so good. I blew everyone's mind.
Right.
I was so good.
Right.
And no one can really argue with me.
Yeah. Okay. So I am kind of fascinated by your origin story. Are you from Seattle?
I am from Seattle.
You grew up in Seattle.
Yes.
And then how did you get hooked up with the Renegades of the Underground? Dan Schwartz, I think, or whatever his name.
He is
Dan
friends
Schwartz.
with Travis Webb. Travis Webb was pretty much my active agent. He did a bunch of raves. I was usually featured in his raves. So I think we became friends through Travis. Who I am pretty sure is also in that documentary.
Yeah.
Along with Beefer, who also used to book me a lot.
Yes.
R.I.P. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a lot of those faces just from being a participant. But, I mean, you were on flyers. And so you were on flyers as long as I can remember, I think. You know,
Yeah,
when
I got pretty popular in the early 2000s. So big
Yeah.
thanks to Travis Webb and Victor from Love Tribe. When he moved from San Francisco, like really gave me a big shot because before then everyone's like, ew, happy hardcore. No, thank you. A lot of the happy hardcore DJs would start calling it UK hardcore instead, so they would maybe have their demo listened to. And Victor already knew that happy hardcore worked. He's from California, so he immediately booked me, and it was such a big door that opened. I think a lot of other promoters accepted that people really love happy hardcore. Turns out going to a party, people want to have fun and listen to lighthearted, exciting music that you can bounce around and be silly to. So I am so grateful that someone brought that vibe to Seattle.
So it's always been happy hardcore for you. Like that's
Pretty much, yeah. I have always collected jungle as well.
Okay.
It was a lot more accessible and easy to get. When I started playing happy hardcore, you could not buy it in a store in Seattle. You would have to call Subsonic Underground and just give them your credit card and have them send you 10 songs.
Oh, really?
Or they would play it for you on the phone. There was no
And hopefully it was
internet
good?
yet.
Okay.
That was not happening yet.
That's
and then
crazy.
shortly after, Platinum Records started carrying some happy hardcore, so we had a little bit there. And fast forward, 8 years later, Frequency 8 opened up on Broadway.
Okay.
And they definitely carried happy hardcore and trance. It was just a store full of happy hardcore and trance music. So that was incredible. And I think it lasted almost 10 years. They had
Yeah.
that storefront for a while.
And that was all, yeah. So, and you,
Aaron Simpson worked there.
I remember Aaron,
when he
yeah.
was in his trance days before the drum and bass.
you know, so many old names that I recognize that I don't necessarily, like my circles don't necessarily cross into, but it's so fun to hear these names. And then did Groove Tech ever sell happy hardcore? You ever buy from Groove Tech?
No, I never did. No.
Yeah. Interesting.
But the place that was by the Lish House.
Yeah.
Oseo? Is that what the record store is called? What was it called? I want to say it's called Oseo.
You would know better than me, I think.
But that store, which still exists on Broadway, actually, they also had a little bit of hardcore, breakcore, jungle.
Because I remember in the day going to, I think it was like Tuesdays at Platinum when they get all their new acts. Was it the same for you? Like you'd go pop
Be
around
there
and
early.
Yep.
They would save me. At least with Frequency 8, they would just save me some
Would they
behind
really?
the counter. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And they gave me their promos, and they were so nice. And they would let me practice in the store if I wanted to at Frequency 8. They were like just so kind. They were the best.
That's
It
so
was
cool.
really helpful for me when I was like a young kid. I didn't really have like solid housing.
Oh,
I
is
was
that
one
right?
of those flaky ravers, kind of drifting around. I had my record crate that either lived at my brother's house or my other friend Christopher's house, and just kind of bopped around until I found permanent residency.
Wow.
As teenagers do.
Totally. Then how did you find the rave scene in general in the very beginning? How did
My brother was a DJ. DJ. He was DJ Era from the Pressure Crew. So he was in a little DJ group with Zachariah and Nitsu and all those people.
Before like 360 BPM?
Yeah, this is 96.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 96.
I'm sure I'd seen him
so
play
a little,
at some
like
point.
while I was still in high school,
Yeah.
he went to college and was like, oh, I got these turntables. This is so cool. He gave me Ronnie Size Represents as a Christmas gift. That was like my first CD of drum and bass music, I'm pretty sure, other than he gave me some mixtapes also before that of his mixes. I didn't really know what was going on with them. I liked
Right.
them.
Right.
It's still pre-transitioning from my ska era because I was a little ska punk rock kid.
In Seattle doing
In
the
Seattle,
ska thing?
doing the ska thing. That's how I know Ian K. Ian K was in my friend's band in high school.
Wild. Okay. And which high school?
I went to Newport. I
Okay.
don't think Ian did. Ian was a little older than
Right.
us. He's the one that could have bought us beer, not that he did.
Not that
He just
Ian
could
never.
have.
He could have. He had the ability if it was. So you went East Side. You went to Newport.
Yeah, and Bellevue.
Okay. It's funny. I went to Lake Washington. I was a Kang. You were a Knight.
It was yeah.
You guys' soccer team always kicked our ass.
Oh, good to know. I don't know anything about
Always
sports.
kicked our ass. Yeah, I was a soccer player.
I did get to draw the banner thing that the football players run through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always wondered who drew those.
I did one time. They got me an apple. They're like, "Do you want anything to eat?" And I was such a weird kid. I was like, "I would like an apple." And she's like, "Okay."
That was your payment for drawing the thing?
An apple.
Well, I always
Live in that artist expectation just right away. This is what you're going to be making, apples.
but you only drew it once. They never rehired you.
No, only one time.
But they had a lot of games. Was it? Did they
I'm
not
sure
like the
they
art?
just had a different. I probably did. I was terrible.
Was it weird? Did you draw something weird?
No, I just drew a knight. I don't know if it's good or bad. I was 15. It was probably bad. I'm gonna guess.
Listen, I'm not
That my
trying to cause you
15-year-old
new trauma, but
illustration
I think if it would have been good, you would have got rehired. I don't know. I just
It's true.
You
So
can
I
be-
tell myself about teaching too.
well, you get hired a lot for DJing. That's
That is true. I can't complain. I'm
can't
very,
complain.
very grateful.
Yes. So and actually, I was wondering about that because you still tour, right? The U.S.
I do.
How often are you on the road versus in Seattle here?
A lot less than when I was young.
Yeah.
I probably go out of state like once a month. I have a couple out of state gigs in December, so it'll be twice a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what parties are those? They're
Just random, just one-offs,
Okay.
always one-offs.
Gotcha.
Other than Mutiny tends to book me. We really like them. I'm doing Tropical Dreams with them. I'm going to DJ with DJ Scar, who is probably the biggest happy hardcore female producer I can think of. She's so great and so uplifting and a crazy Australian. So she's just going to be insane the whole time. And I love Insanity, so it's going to be so fun.
awesome. And where's that one?
That's Boston.
Okay. Gotcha. And do you have an agent right now that helps book you
No.
for that stuff? So it's all on you.
Yes.
Got it.
That has always been the case.
Yes.
Travis was the closest thing I think I've had to an agent, but I still was booking all my flights and organizing all my tour dates. I think he was really good at locally getting me bigger things. Like I got to play the USC party at the stadium.
Yep. What
right
year was that?
after
That was like
Jekyll and Hyde. I think their 10-year anniversary or something.
Got it. I went to I don't think I went to the 10-year.
I remember them being like, "Don't play happy hardcore, play Gabber," and then I just played happy hardcore because I'm like, I don't think you can tell. No offense, I don't think
totally.
You know
Well,
the
that's what I was going to ask.
difference.
If
But
you
sure.
can we take a step back because I'm a little bit naive to how the genres and the subgenres are broken up in this
Yeah.
world. Can you give me a lesson with that? And will I
Okay.
offend you if you
So,
give me a
no,
break it down?
that's fine. Gabber is like the harder one that sounds like death metal,
Okay.
distorted kicks and stuff.
And like
And then,
BPM wise, 160,
170 to 200.
Okay.
We'll go slower. I think once it gets to 200, we're talking up tempo. We're talking hard tech. We're talking French core. Those are the more 200. French core is the best. That's the best one. Up tempo is like French core, but too distorted and just like
You say
I don't
fringe or
know.
French? I want to make
French?
French. Oh, God, Jesus
Ooh la
Christ.
la.
Interesting.
The French core.
Why do they get their own, French get their own
Yeah, the
core?
French get their own core. The Spanish have their own core too. It's called Machina.
Okay.
It's really fun. It's a lot like happy hardcore, where it's cute and bouncy techno sounding.
Okay.
But just longer phrasing, no vocal breakdown, just lots of samples and like kind of zany sounding. Happy hardcore, obviously, is the one with the big vocal breakdowns. A lot of people insist on calling the newer stuff UK hardcore, and that's their distinction between the older sounds and the newer sounds. I always call it all happy hardcore because a lot of the new UK hardcore I play is not from the UK, so that doesn't even make sense.
Interesting.
For me, that doesn't make sense.
And when
But I
you're saying-
understand if I lived in Europe, maybe it would be different.
Yeah.
But I do play a lot of like Japanese and American music, and
And when
so
you
I
say
think it's-
older sound versus newer sound, you're talking about the production.
the kind of noises
Right.
used. Old happy hardcore is a lot of those the rave piano noise and the stabby synthesizers and more silly samples and stompy beats. And then I feel like happy hardcore started fashioning itself after trance music a lot. And it became more big room sounding melodies and softer synthesizers, cleaner drums, very futuristic sounding. And now it just kind of emulates all kinds of music,
Okay.
but fast.
I appreciate the education. I'm
Yeah, no
learning. I'm
problem.
learning about.
And then
this.
there's also freeform, which
Okay.
is like psytrancey. And now Psytrance is making their music at 170, so they're just making Psytrance into freeform, which already existed.
And you ever blend into that stuff? Or?
Yeah, I buy Psytrance now. If it's 170, I'll buy it for sure.
And you still buy drum and bass too, right? A little
Yeah,
bit.
I do.
Because I think at the Waterland Cafe, I heard you play a little
Yeah,
bit of D&B
I said
too.
I was like, I'm gonna play happy hardcore. Then I start with drum and bass.
I totally heard that.
Immediately.
Okay.
Like
I was paying
within 3
attention.
songs, I'm like, okay, drum and bass.
Okay, got it.
But
got it.
Monty likes that. The owner is Monty, who ran Compound Records. And
Okay.
plays drum and bass.
So he's all
Or
that.
I don't know if he's the owner or the manager. I don't know.
He's got some sort of yeah.
His affiliation,
His affiliate. I gotcha.
his place of work. is
So,
there.
but really, if we look at DJ Jimni Cricket, it is mostly happy hardcore.
Yeah, I think if you play a single happy hardcore song in a set, you are suddenly a happy hardcore. But I do like happy hardcore the best, probably, and collect it the most.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing Push the Tempo, that is very hard dance oriented. I try to keep the drum and bass mostly out of that. I do play some drum and bass on there, but because the basement already exists, I don't want to tread on their territory.
I see.
They get the drum and bass. Well, let's go with the hard dance because that is the void we're filling.
So you Push the Tempo, just for people that don't know, that's your show on C89.
It is.
And you were basically the first hardcore show or happy hardcore show.
Yeah, for a regular show. We've had they have had some happy hardcore guests. I was one of them back in the day on Vortex.
Okay.
Every once in a while, they would have like Ian K or myself or Wheels played a few times.
Yep.
And they were looking for diversity. So Ron hired me as the weird music for their station. And it's really cute to hear there's some other DJs on the station that just like don't know about happy hardcore or hardstyle or anything yet.
Right.
So most of them will call me a hardstyle DJ, which I guess I'm starting to collect a little hardstyle now. But up
Right.
until like last year, I did not collect hardstyle at all. I had never played hardstyle and always was just called a hardstyle DJ because hardstyle became so popular. If you're going to go to a festival, you're way more likely to see a hardstyle DJ versus a hardcore DJ. So I think the mainstream really latched on to that hardstyle music, but maybe not so much the happy hardcore until really recently. There's drum and bass, and then dubstep came along and got really popular.
Right.
So it's the equivalent of calling a drum and bass DJ a dubstep DJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I see.
Same,
It's offensive, yes.
Yeah, you're like, And so they'll be like, oh, you're happy hardstyle? And I'm like, oh, good try. Cute. It's still cute. It's still good. We love that.
That's so wild. And then you were talking to Paul off camera, Paul, the guy who does all the camera magic, but you guys have a lot of like shared knowledge from the old
he knows
school.
some of the friends.
Like he hung out with these.
Storm, what?
Yeah, he hung out with these guys. Yeah, that's so cool. So on the C89 piece, how long have you been doing that show?
We're almost at a year. We're getting close. We're like a month away from a year.
And how's it like? How do they? I'm still learning about radio. I had a Harmony in here, right? But
oh, great.
Yeah, she was great. She did her thing, and she actually had us through the studio. But how does the radio station know or decide like to keep the show, to know it's being successful? Like what
I think they can monitor.
They monitor the metrics for it,
and if people are like complaining or whatever,
they're complaining.
And also, we're a sponsored show, so we are bringing in money already. I'm sure that
helps. How are you sponsored? How does that work?
We had a promoter, Ev, with Impact Productions. She does ticket giveaways, and you can set up a deal with our, I'm not sure what their department is called, but they're the sponsorship department, I guess. Right. Which she did. She was already friends with them, so it worked out really well.
Got it.
And it works magically to get to give away tickets to events I super believe in. I love that. That is. And then we're also about to do our pledge drive.
I know that's coming up. When is that?
This week.
Oh, is it this week?
Yeah. And I've been in training.
Oh, really? They have pledge drive training?
Yeah. And I can't DJ like normal. I canceled all the guests because I was like, oh, I have to talk a lot.
So you don't talk much on Push the Tempo?
No, not too often. Maybe every 10 minutes. I'll be like, this is what you're listening to. And then every promo I get, I try to pump that up.
Yeah,
I will
of course.
say what is playing because I want my friends to be successful.
Yes.
I want the labels I care about to have the attention. However, I'm quieter on the mic. I am doing a lot of mixing. They gave me 3 CDJs. So
do they really?
Yeah. So I'm going to use them.
So you're mixing live in the studio, though. You're not doing because I know some shows they do pre-recorded or.
The only time we do a pre-record is if I'm on tour.
Okay, got it. But that's cool. They let you.
People will be like, or if I have a gig in Seattle, they'll be like, "Aren't you on right now?"
That's right. Because when I saw you at, I'm not going to get you in trouble, am I?
No. I think
because when I saw you at Waterland, your show was also happening at the same time.
Right.
And I said, "How are you doing this 2 places at once?" And then
magic.
Yeah, exactly.
A pre-recording. But that also works out really well because then I can have people that don't live in Seattle. They can come in and play. Well, come in virtually with their sounds.
That's so cool. So you just got pulled into C89 because of your reputation and because you were a guest at some point. You never worked with the station through high school or anything like that.
No, not at all. It was definitely reputation. I think it is very helpful that I know most of the people running the record labels for hardcore. We'll go back to hardcore being a very small scene, so I can reach out and get the promos needed to show what is cutting edge in happy hardcore land. I also have a good network for bringing in guests. Yes. I decided I wanted it to be a guest show, and we're doing it. We're letting all the friendos get to play.
Isn't it super fun, though? Bringing your friends in.
It's super fun. It also is great that because I don't play hardstyle, I can bring in these hardstyle DJs and the hands-up trance DJs and the hard techno DJs. They don't really know enough about the genres and just get the experts in, and they can show everyone these genres.
It's so cool. And then you have your Twitch piece also, you kind of blew up. I know that you were talking to me about during COVID, you came up with a concept for a Twitch show and
it is like Dora the Explorer, but definitely adult content. And I play happy hardcore during it. And the chat gets to come up with an idea each week. We have a little poll that runs, and you can put any idea of any theme, and then we just try to build it out of cardboard and make some really talented graphics. Talented. And I've done puppetry in it. I kind of anything goes, whatever I can think of, and get complete in 4 days.
So I'm not going to tell you which one of the three of us responded. Well, I was the one sending, but I sent them a couple of your videos and I said, we need to get her in here. She's old school Seattle. And I just got like a question mark, exclamation point, question mark.
What the hell?
Totally. And I was like, no.
I think that's the normal reaction.
Totally.
Actually, when people wander in on Twitch, they're like, what is going on?
And I said, no, you seriously, you watch enough, you will get like weirdly obsessed with the content and just like, what's going to be the background this time?
It's really fun if you get to
super
participate too, because all those redeems, like all the graphics,
yeah,
you as the viewer get to redeem. So anything that comes on screen is generally a watcher triggering that graphic, which is fun.
So we know you play happy hardcore on there, but you also, that's what I was going to ask you about, like all the set building. Like I looked at one, there's like French fries and there's like, fit, whatever. There's like, so you're building all that stuff.
I do build it all each week out of trash. We have zero budget, so it has to be out of trash. And
you do it at your house? Do you have like a room where you build?
No, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So bless my partner for letting me just keep piles of cardboard. Patience of a saint. How nice of them. I'm so sorry.
It's got to be amazing.
Yeah, dating an artist and I can't pay for anything and I leave cardboard everywhere. I'm like painting in the kitchen.
So do you sometimes like go out to the store and then come back with like a garbage bag full of cardboard and what? Look what I found.
Look what I found in the trash. Look what I found on Buy Nothing. We're going to use this somehow.
So how long does it take to build a set or a background?
I just kind of work on everything casually.
Okay.
So I might put up to 10 hours of work per stream, which is insane.
It's so crazy.
Which actually is insane. But yeah, I just try to make I'm kind of trying to make all social media and all art at my own whim.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can be blow up famous. And I think that's a really good thing. Yeah. I think now I can prioritize my artistic needs and keep my stress levels down and have this be a fun experience, which translate to other people having fun as well. When it becomes like a weird competition of trying to stay on the tippity top, I feel like my stress is very visible. People like the content less and just everything starts plummeting. Yeah. So putting the boundary of making it more casual seems to be doing swimmingly.
That's good.
Doing great.
Do you actually get a little financial bump from Twitch?
Yeah, I do make I am very sad that they're demonetizing the DJs right now.
And is that going to be for sure? Like,
oh yeah, by demonetizing this, very dramatic. They take a 50% cut and then they're adding a 30% cut to the total revenue and then you pay 20% to the government. So it's not demonetized, but
you're just making zero money.
You're just not making money.
If I do the maths right. Yeah. You're making zero from what kind of bullshit is that?
What I have been doing is doing offsite tipping and that right now we're pretty even. This is my first month not making Partner Plus, which is like a little bonus. You get to keep 60% instead. But I did not make it because I did not make enough sub revenue. But it was $40 more because the offset tipping.
Are they just getting like greedy or is it?
Sony came a knocking, Universal. They're like, no, we need our money. And for some reason, Spotify, they can charge Spotify 1 cent per stream. But the second a DJ plays it, they would like 30% of their income. Because no one's telling them no. Because no one is suing Sony. Oh my God, they're going to come to my house and kill me.
They are.
Don't kill me, Sony. I don't got shit for you.
And you did not kill yourself.
30% of this beer.
That's right. Oh my God.
Calm down. You guys have mansions. I don't have a yacht.
She builds her set out of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you're doing to her, Sony.
But yeah, it is some laws. I think the whole thing needs to be analyzed a little better.
Yeah.
And it is nice that Twitch went to bat a little bit. They could have just cut the category. That's what they did for karaoke. When they got in copyright trouble, they're just like, okay, no more karaoke. Goodbye.
Interesting.
I think DJs make a lot of money on the site, I would guess. because I make a little bit of revenue. I know a lot of people making thousands of dollars per show, so I'm sure they want that 50% of thousands of dollars.
And how often are you doing your show?
I only do once a week.
Okay.
For the partner program is recommended you stream 3 times a week.
Gotcha.
But I have other hobbies, and I don't want to have a nervous breakdown. And I would rather do content that I spend 10 hours on and cry versus just like, I think most DJs just kind of play.
Yeah.
Whatever. They just play.
That's
no big deal.
So, yeah. So, well, speaking
but there's just something rotten in my brain where I'm like, how can I make this so complicated that no one will like it? Let's go. That me and my 10 friends are going to think it's hilarious.
No, you have a good
I do have
Twitch
a very
following,
good following,
right?
I'm very proud of my community and thankful for them. They're all so kind. I never have had to deal with transphobia or anyone being like racist or horrible, sexist.
Yeah.
Everyone's so chill. I have had very little incidents where I've had to kick people out.
Do you know?
Which is unheard of on that site.
No, totally, right? I've heard stories. Do you know the demographic? Like, do you know the sort of your general demographic of who's following you on Twitch? And is it similar to like who goes to see you play in real life?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely, people will be like, ba ba ba.
Oh, really?
Screen name. I'm like, yeah, high five.
It's so funny. And you got any like, are they younger, older, more male, more female? Like,
I think we're pretty all over.
all over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the website, I probably have an older audience, but Twitch, I think it was something like 20% of the people on Twitch are over 30s. So something like very, very small.
Yeah.
So, but within that, they're all watching me. I got all those.
You got all of them.
I got all those 40-year-olds.
Do you put your stuff on YouTube as well?
I do. It's just a mirror. It's just the recording.
It's just the recording,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't make specific content for YouTube.
You just mirror it. And yeah, that makes sense. And then as far as the raves, you've been playing raves for 20 plus years now.
Yeah.
Like, how has that changed? Because I haven't honestly been to a rave for,
It feels pretty the same.
Does
There's
it?
definitely a huge commercial aspect, but I don't get invited to festivals. I have been voted off that island. So it's like it doesn't exist to me. So it doesn't matter. It's like, yes, there's been this big major change.
Yeah.
But I don't even, it's like the house scene to me. Like,
Yeah.
I know it exists. I know it's popular, but I could not tell you shit about it.
Because
Like,
nobody invites you.
Right. It's not where I'm going to. So
Has anybody pulled you aside and said this is why? Or is it just the music, the actual sound? Give me the dirt.
How drama do you want?
Yeah, let's get dramatic.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
Don't sue me, but
Sony's already coming after you. So
God, Jesus.
anything below Sony is fine.
this is bad. I have been told not to talk about this on camera, so we're doing it.
Do it. Let's do it.
There are a lot of people in hard dance that have become popular recently and have management that has in their contract that hard dance, hardcore, hard style cannot open for them. So anyone who is domestic locally has been removed. I've been removed off lineups when the agency realized that I was going to be playing for them. It is their right because it's their artist and there would not be a show without their artist. But I feel like sometimes the artists don't know this is happening. Accountability, though, if you have a contract, read your contract that you're sending out. Like, you probably should know the paperwork that has your name on it. Do I think it's healthy for the rave scene? No. I think it's really, really bad. I think it is really bad to not be fostering the younger people into,
Totally.
like, yeah, kick the old lady off. I don't care. I'm an old lady. I will get another booking. That's fine. But if that was a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, what if that is, like, the new hot shit? What if they are the best producer and you are not fostering that artist to become incredible
Because
you're
somebody's
so
writer.
worried
Yeah.
about being upstaged, or your agent does not have the confidence that you will not pull the main focus at the show named after you? So it's like, I personally would like to have an agent who believed in me so much that they thought I could do no wrong, and that they would want those openers to be just sick as fuck. So the whole show is sick as fuck.
Right.
Not so no one wants to come till write your set.
Right, like, midnight or whatever.
Yeah, then the bar's not even selling drinks. Yeah. Like, we're not thinking this through.
So what are they doing for like the opening acts then?
Techno, house,
something that varies
genre
so much
that is not included. Yeah,
and then
something
you get
slower, so it's the maximum impact. That's why directly I was told by one of them, no naming names. I do like the person, but they're like, "Well, why don't you understand? I need the maximum impact." And I was like, "Dude, you're famous and you're hot. I'm pretty sure you'll just get up there and everyone's gonna be like, ooh, ooh," because that's what they do every time. Like, why would it be different now?
Right.
So it's like a bummer that you can be the most famous person in the world and still like not even have that confidence and not want to foster the younger generation or your community. Like, I feel like the whole point of me making art and DJing is to encourage someone to go do it better than me. That's what end goal. I would like people to do what I'm doing, but a million times better and make it great for the future. And there's such a disconnect there. I can't understand it. It's such a bummer that the agents are so focused on the money aspect that they are forgetting about the art and they're forgetting about the humanity. And it is very sad, but it is what it is. And it's just like the festivals. It can just not exist. And I can still go play an underground rave.
But it seems like such a miss and like such a short-term, short-term money grab. If you're not building, like, why wouldn't you build around that, that champion DJ, the headliner, whatever, like,
or just do it like Lil Texas, who is a very successful, amazing up-tempo DJ, and he just books his own talent. He goes on tour with the 6 people he believes in. They're usually younger and newer, and he has just made a pathway for these newer artists to become successful and foster new people in also. So actively not making the choice to act like someone who is a Little Texas or like Gammer. I've seen him take videos of newer people and try to pump them up with his social media, get these younger people on his record label. I feel like it is such a missed opportunity if you want to take the selfish road.
That's wild. But it
also makes a lot of money to be selfish.
Yeah.
If you have no competition, you don't have to worry, I guess. But you do. There is going to be competition no matter what.
Somebody better.
We have the internet. We have fucking TikTok. Anyone can participate now. So get good scrub.
Yeah. Bring a scratch record.
And it's usually people that are very good doing this is like the confusing part. And they might not be like the most technical proficient DJs, but no one gives a fuck about that. That's why I hear the song you wrote that everyone sings in their car every day when they go to work, like the banger anthems that these people wrote.
Right.
So they're irreplaceable already. If you write an anthem that everyone knows, a household name anthem, you are irreplaceable, and you need that confidence to know that, like,
you're not going to be upstaged by the opener.
Or maybe you will.
Maybe you will. Then push yourself a little bit.
But there's more than one set at a show. There's usually 4 to 25 or hell with these festivals, like days of artists.
Do you find it's the complete opposite with the underground parties that you play?
Yeah, everyone at the underground just like wants each other to be successful.
And they're just pushing each other, like in a good way,
encouraging like young people to try and helping each other with technology, and it's just better. It's just better. So do I feel too sad about not being in the commercial rave? Like, sometimes you want to be able to pay your bills.
It'd be a nice
or whatever.
option.
Or it's like sad to get, like, I know when people have like shopped me to like some of the bigger things and that they've passed, and like, yeah, obviously it hurts your feelings. You're like, oh damn, I'm not good enough, or my social media is not big enough. But if the promoter has said no to me, then that is it. Like, I am not a good fit in their vision, and that is okay, because you don't need to be fitting in everywhere in life. You can find your own little places. You can be a little puzzle piece. You don't have to be like a blob that just fits in. You don't need to be a open format DJ that can play any setting. Yeah. It's okay to have a bold personality that only fits in certain design or whatever.
Well, that was one of the things that I so when I first started watching your content and I was like, is this like a character? Is this like a persona? Like, but then when I met you in real life, I'm like, oh no, that's just who she is.
They're that cringe in life.
No, it was so fun. I was like, and actually Paul said it. He's like, dude, she's so on brand. And I go, yeah, I think that's just who she is. That's so fucking cool.
Like really successful people tend to be like that.
Yeah, amazing.
Like DJ Flapjack is so... He looks the part. He's really excited about what he's doing. Like Ian K is always like so sweet and insightful, and it's just who he is. Like very loud. And Doughboy is like also like a very sweet like little guy.
Right.
And you just love him. Like if you can live your own personality, it has so much more longevity than having a persona. If Little Texas is a great example of a persona, like he is a marketing genius. So he found the workaround, had this persona, started getting old, and he's like, oh, time to flip the page. He did the Texas thing for a long time. He was a cowboy. And he's like, now I need to be a sexy cowboy. And just started doing like overtly sexy, and it went crazy. It went off. Everyone was like, yes, we love this super sexy cowboy now. We love all these like stupid penis jokes. He's ridiculous. We love this. So like if you are gonna go persona, you have to expect eventually the joke is gonna run out. So do you have a backup joke?
Right.
You gotta think of something new, or it's boring.
Yeah.
But if you're genuine, that's just who you are.
Yeah.
And even when your project isn't successful, you're just being authentic, and so is not stressful.
Yeah.
You haven't like put effort into faking anything. You've just given who you are.
Totally.
That's fine.
No, that was so cool, because when I first reached out to you, and I said to these guys, I said, I don't know if she's gonna like come as Jimni Cricket or she's gonna come as Annika, but it's all one and the same, which is so fucking cool.
I was gonna come as Darth Vader,
that would have been
like, good. The mask is a little hard to play.
Yeah. And then you reinforced it when I asked what cupcake you wanted, and you said the gay one.
Yeah, it was like the gay. You're like, stop being problematic. I am valid.
So there's so much more I could talk to you about, but so what is, you don't do much production. You've done a little production, but that's not your main thing.
Yeah, it's not my main thing. I like making a good old mega mix.
Yeah.
I wish scratching or producing was my main hobby, but it just is not. I like doing a mega mix.
I feel that. And then as far as, just in general, when you're doing your Twitch show, right? Are the sets planned out? Are you winging it? Is it a little bit of both?
It's pretty planned out.
Is it pretty planned out?
I would like to have all the key points kind of there, ready to go. And then I can be talking with chat and not really thinking about it versus like to find the song.
Because it's chaos watching.
And like happyhardcore has so many vocals.
Yeah.
And
they can start stepping on each other. I was wondering about that.
Yeah. I'm too picky for that. I'm too picky.
So as far as like looking forward, I mean, you're busy right now. You're touring. You have your radio show. You have your Twitch show. I don't know what you do in the real world, and you don't have to. You don't have a real world.
I do illustration on the side sometimes. I was the in-house designer for KFA for a bit. I do a lot of DJ cover art still.
Okay.
Just on private commission or like logos and stuff like that, but not recently.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then future-wise, like as you're looking forward, what does that look like?
We don't plan for the future. We're gonna live under a bridge
I was gonna
with
get that
the
answer.
trash. I'm just gonna make a castle out of cardboard. I have a lot of experience. I don't know what the future holds for me. I have a theater background. I would love to do something in arts and entertainment, obviously. When inevitably the DJ thing does come to an end, I think it might be unavoidable. Or maybe people want to see their grandma DJ. I don't know. I'm the next Nana Machina. There was a stage act for a while that was this granny. It was like a guy in a granny costume. He'd come out on his walker and do flips and stuff. And he's granny. Nana Machina.
But you're thinking about doing that for real? And
yeah, but I'll just actually be old.
Well, you can't tell. That's why I was laughing when my wife asked how old you were. You're like, I don't know.
What if I know?
I have no idea.
Vampire sucking out souls. I feel like I look old today because I'm like dressed maturely. I'm not in fat pants.
I like the get up though, and I actually, like I told you, I wore my overalls today just in homage of my old rave my race. And actually, look, I matched the tips of my shoelaces with your get up. Yeah. I bet you didn't even notice Christmas. That. Yeah, we're Christmas. That's right. My wife was like, "What are you going to do with those green shoes?" I go, "I got a plan.
Golfing. Invisible feet. Let's go.
So is there like any, I know we're joking around about the future, but like going to keep DJing, going to keep touring, going to keep on the same track?
I think so. I am not too much of a future planner.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
You never know.
Who knows what's going to happen? I would like to. I used to do a stage show with Ian K called Hardcore Saves the World. I don't know why I didn't put in my bullet point, but we toured a little bit, and it was kind of like WWF and Guar put together. We were superheroes, and we would have mascots come on stage, and we'd fight, and we'd do all the vocals in advance. And we'd like pantomime, and there'd be a full vocal track that went over us DJing, of us talking. It was scripted. It was like a play. Then we'd throw a lot of glitter and get audience participation and like
do that again. That sounds fucking amazing. It's a lot of work, right?
It's not a lot of work. I don't know if that's too much of a problem. I love working too hard. But our last show, I did get punched in the face because the mascot costume went to the side and broke my jaw, and I'm pretty sure Ian K got a concussion that night because he tripped and fell on his face. And now we're older, so I think we'd either have to have some kind of precautions, or I've been getting into puppetry, and I know some people in the puppet scene, so I really would like to shop out doing something like that, but with puppets.
Is there a puppet scene? I'm so out of
There is a puppet scene.
In Seattle, there's
a puppet festival.
Is it really? Yeah, and you were part of the puppet festival?
I went to it. I didn't participate. I haven't participated in any of the live puppetry yet.
Okay. But it's on the roadmap potentially.
I would like to, yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably
I would like to do a blacklight. I'm going to have my idea stolen now. Don't steal my idea. I would like to
We'll sue them.
Yeah, I'll sue you. And then Sony will sue me for the money.
But at least you have money.
From you.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll be breaking even. I feel like the puppet money will not be the same as the Sony
I don't know
money.
If the puppet money will be as good as the Sony money, but okay, so blacklight. Puppets.
Blacklight puppetry.
Okay.
Yeah, with maybe like glow sticking involved. Get some of my friends that do like the tutting and stuff, like to go with the puppet show. Wouldn't that be great?
Shit. I would go to that.
Yeah, I shouldn't say this on camera. Someone's gonna steal this shit.
I don't know.
Genius idea, but it'll take so much work. You don't want to do it.
That's the thing.
Actually, if they do take it, cool. Good, thank you.
That's the thing.
Thank you for making my vision, because I'm too lazy for it.
It takes a lot of work. I mean, even like this thing. I cannot tell you how many people, and this is going to happen when you do your first blacklight puppet show and people love it. Somebody's going to come up to you and say, "Oh, hey man, I've been thinking about doing the blacklight puppet show forever." Yeah, cool. Like give you no credit, right?
Right.
Like, I can not tell you how many times I've gotten that when I've been out and somebody's
but
like,
you never did it.
You didn't do it, dummy.
And sometimes it's just great minds. Like I had always wanted to do a kid's show kind of like what Hardcore Hodgepodge is,
right?
But like live at a rave, and
That'd
they found
amazing.
the Fungineers.
Yeah.
It's already happening. The Fungineers do it. They're doing it. They have puppets. It's so cute. It's very unhinged and very adult content. I like it so much, and there's no way I could have made it on the level they did. I'm so happy it exists.
Could you get in as a guest on the Fungineers with your own?
God, I would have to be a lot better, but maybe one day.
Maybe one
they'll
day.
want to collab one day.
It's goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll collab with
God,
you.
I don't have goals.
Hear that, Fungineers? Is that how you say it?
I will show you their stuff after. They're
I cannot
so cute.
wait.
They're so good. I had no idea who they were, and this puppet opened for me in Rhode Island at a tight crew party, and I didn't get it at all because it was like just a DJ playing weird shit as a puppet. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, but it's not like hitting my boxes because I do like a good technical DJ, and it wasn't really technical DJing. And they're playing some stuff that was really weird, but then I went through their YouTube and I was like, oh, I get this really weird stuff now because it's all like your songs from your main show, and this is just not the whole main show. This is just the DJ touring separately. And once I saw the big picture, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. They did a bunch of live streams over pandemic, and it was all improv comedy. It was so cute. You could like tip them and name goldfish or something. You could just come up with something, and they'd make a little song about goldfish, and it's great.
Oh my God.
There's so many amazing people.
So as far as like upcoming, you said you're playing a couple times in December. Upcoming parties, like what's going on? Where are you going?
I'm playing in Portland, Oregon on the 17th, I want to say, in a couple weeks.
Nice.
And then I am playing in Florida and the week after Thanksgiving, and then going straight to Boston after that, and maybe going to Disney World in between. Whoa, fun. Spend all my money in Disney World, yay. And I think Phoenix, but not till fall, and everything else is not confirmed, so I can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. Does your partner go with you?
No. He has only been to raves 3 times.
Wow.
He just went to a rave recently.
What did he think?
He doesn't like them. He respects me as an artist and supports me to the end of the earth, but he does not like raves, no.
Okay.
It's not for him. He went to the Hentai Me Up. I just played a hentai bondage party, and that is the one he went to, and he's like, oh my.
What did you wear for that one?
Just normal clothes.
Just normal, okay.
I don't do the super sexy time stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Never gonna happen.
So I love it. All right. So what I'm really excited about, because I want to get you on the decks and see what you do to the speakers in here, because I just got new tops and they sound so good, and it's going to be pretty wild. But is there any other shout outs you need to do? Did we miss anything that we need to hit on before I cut you loose?
Shout out to Ian K, Doughboy, Dummy, the rest of the Seattle hardcore crew. Love you guys. Killing it. Everyone book them all the time. They're all talented. Shout out to Ev, Impact Productions. God, I love her. And SK for just being amazing. And CA 9.5. God, I love them. All my friends, obviously. And the chat cadets. Thank you for watching my show every week.
I love it. It's been a blast. Thank you for coming through. Hey. Fucking amazing.